Tell you guys a funny story. I was digging through the stuff in my workshop slash garage slash whatever. I found a box addressed to Schmidt and Bender. I was wondering what the hell is in there, so I opened it up and discovered the scope that I was supposed to return a long time ago. I put it in the box, labeled it, and then got distracted, and I still have it. So I'm about to send this thing back to Schmidt, but I figured and then since I found the scope, I went to look to see if I did a final review. And I've talked about it quite a lot here and there. It's part of my recommendations. I don't think I ever did a dedicated video on this thing. So I thought it would be worthwhile. This one is going to be short because there's not too much to say. As far as second focal plane hunting scopes goes, this is one of the best I've ever seen. The scope is Schmidt and Bender 3218 by 42 Meta. I'm not entirely sure how they haven't gotten sued by Facebook, but it's on them. As far as general purpose rifle scopes go, this configuration and this package is just about perfect. Like if they made this thing in front focal plane, I'd be all over. This would probably become, well, assuming an appropriate reticle, would probably become my number one recommendation for general purpose rifle scope. So why do I like this thing so much? Mechanically, it's like a Swiss clock, German clock. I don't know, Schmidt. It's wonderful. Everything works. Everything is smooth. Power, magnification, eyepiece setting, parallax, illumination, and the turrets. The turrets are just wonderful. It is a version of these Schmidt turrets that they use, like the 2+ turrets that I really like on the tactical scopes. This is basically a smaller version. There is a lever here at the base. Here's a picture where you can lock it or unlock it. It is both on windage and elevation turret. The clicks are 0.1 milliradian and excellent click quality. And if you look carefully, you see there are these little flags on the elevation turret. And what they are, you can preset them for distance. So you have your normal milliradian turrets and these little flags that basically give you BDC. And the way these flags are, they're tactile. So you can easily figure out which is which, even in the dark. It is a single turn turret that goes basically at 9.8, so 10 milliradian turret. For the vast majority of the things that I do, a 10 milliradian single turn turret is enough. Is it the best thing for shooting ALR and all that? No. The turret is compact, has proven to be robust. It locks. The way they did the locking mechanism does not affect feel. It's not a pop-up turret. There's a lever here. Once it's locked, it's locked. It's not going anywhere. I took it on a pronghorn hunt last year. The hunt was unsuccessful. I spent a lot of time beating this thing up in the mountains. Nothing got damaged. Nothing got screwy. Now, this is a recent Schmidt, so the field of view on the US model, which is what I have here, is narrower than on the Euro spec model. If I were buying one for myself, I'd probably lean toward trying to get my hands on the Euro spec one. On the other hand, this is not exactly a narrow field of view. Apparent field of view is just under 22 degrees, 21.7, something like that. And one of the interesting things that happens, and I need to double check that generally when you constrict the field of view that way, your eye box gets bigger. This scope is spectacularly easier to get behind. Right now, it is on 12 power. So the way they did this, because second focal plane, the reticle in it, we'll get to the reticle in a moment, is technically accurate on 18. On 9, exactly half the magnification is a tactile feel, right? So the way you use the scope, if you're walking around, you keep it on some lower magnification. And if you don't want to try to figure out what's happening and you just need to go by tactile feel where this little indicator is, that's 9. I have to, the image quality is so good, so comfortable. On 9 right now, I'm able to discern bullet holes in the white at 200 yards. Right on 18, I can see, well, it's not the clearest day. I can see them quite clearly. Um, during the day, it's a nice scope. During the night, it's an exceptional scope. Is it better than comparable Swarovski or like a Magnus or Blazer or any other high-end hunting scopes, second focal plane hunting scopes. I don't know, but it's definitely in the running. It may be better, maybe worse, maybe the same. I haven't had a chance to do too many side by sides. In terms of pure image quality, if I were to make a guess which one is probably still the best, it might be the Leica Magnus, but they don't bring them to US anymore. Of the ones I've seen recently, I think this is the best, I think. The reticle in it is a number 4 reticle, and that is probably my only real complaint with this scope. It's a nice number 4 reticle, but it's a nice, German style number 4 reticle, where the reticle itself is very wide. So the thin lines take up quite a lot of space. You can kind of use it for general range finding on an animal, but at fairly close range, right? Like you would in the German forest. But for me here out west, the range finding part of this reticle is absolutely and completely useless. So I'd prefer some sort of a simple hash mark reticle, but beyond that, the scope is amazing. I have no issues with it, so it works very, very well for me. Your mileage may vary. I'll talk to Schmidt. I'm trying to convince him to make a front focal plane version. I hope they do. As far as the chassis goes, yeah, it's the scope's just wonderful. Thank you all.